I'm sitting here on Cliff House Drive, and I'm on my way to look at an enormous property up here in Camden County, basically right at the Lake of the Ozarks. So I came out of Camdenton, went through Climax Springs, went north, finally ended up on Pine Cove Drive, and I just took a right on Pine Cove Drive, and I'm on Cliff House Drive. I pulled over to kind of get my bearings, I guess. And we're going to continue on and have a look at this property. Now, I have seen this once from the road. This property in particular was logged, I don't know, about a year and a half ago or so. And I saw it last summer after it had been logged, and all the leaves were out. It didn't look too bad, but I could tell it was definitely logged. So this will be the first time I've seen it in the winter. Middle of winter up here, no leaves on the trees, and I'm expecting it to look pretty bad, because that's the deal with log properties. The first couple years, in the wintertime especially, they're going to look rough. So let's go see how rough this bad boy looks. Like I said, we're super close to Lake of the Ozarks. I fully expect this to have some lake views based on what I saw in the summer. Even when the leaves were all on the trees, I could see some water off in the distance. And let's see. Whoops. Cliff House is paved, obviously. We're going to pass Elk Ridge Drive on the left in a moment. We'll stay on Cliff House. Although actually, when I looked at the maps, it looked like there's a lake view. Whoops. There was a way to get to this property on Elk Ridge, but the main paved frontage is on Cliff House. So there's Elk Ridge going off to the left. That's gravel. We'll continue on Cliff House, and the map shows it's going to curve to the right, curve back to the left, and then start to straighten out, and we'll see the property on the left. And it should be pretty apparent when we get there, because like I said, it was recently logged. Okay, curving back to the left. Just a beautiful, beautiful area up here at the lake, so peaceful. This is the family-friendly area of the lake. We took our vacation here last summer. 3 kids, and everybody brought friends, and it was just great. Rented a boat and a place on the lake. Had a ton of fun. Okay, so now we're straightening out, and pretty soon we'll see this property on the left-hand side of the road. I'm looking at the map, and my landmark is that on the right there's a trail that goes off, and then the property starts on the left shortly after that. Okay, so I'm looking to the right, there's a private trail as my landmark. Left is our property. Oh, there's the lake. Cool. The phone cameras never pick it up. I don't know why I don't just use a real camera. But even from back here, oh geez, if there are about 20 or 30 medium-sized trees removed, that's a nice lake view. You're probably laughing if you're looking at this video. It doesn't look like much, but from here I can see a good portion of the lake. I'll find a place to park in a moment here. Oh, sweeping lake view with a few trees removed. Oh my gosh. You can definitely tell it's been logged. But man, did that open up that lake view, which probably hasn't been seen for however long it's been since it was logged. Oh, he's behind me. I'm about to back up. There we go. A couple hours with the chainsaw and open up that view a little bit. Oh, beautiful. can't get enough of that lake view. I've seen so many properties close to the lake that didn't have a view. See, these properties, we got quite a few properties of different sizes up here, and usually we have our guys spend a few weeks, you know, on each property and clean it up and put in a driveway and clean out some smaller trees to create the views. But we have so much going on, and these are so far from our office that we're just going to sell these properties as they are to keep the price low and let someone else come in and do what they like. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I remember this. This would have been one of the landing sites for the loggers where they would have loaded their trucks. There's a good pull-off. We'll take advantage of that. The property actually does continue on Cliff House. But we'll pull off right here and we'll have a look. Again, I'm seeing the lake view through the trees off in the distance. So nice. So here's an excellent place to pull off. Potential building site. Obviously it needs to be cleaned up, but a couple hours with the skid loader would have this whipped into shape. And then these wood piles, you can burn them or you can just leave them and let Mother Nature do her thing. Just standing here, I'm looking through those trees at the Lake of the Ozarks. That is cool. I'll walk back up to Cliff House Road, Cliff House Drive for a second. And if you stay on Cliff House, you'll end up right down at the lake in just another, geez, half mile or a mile. There are a lot of places out here that will rent docks on a monthly or yearly basis if you want to keep your boat in the water. But there are also some public and private launches where you can put your boat in the water anytime you want. And yeah, we've got a pretty good trail here, so we'll take advantage of this. I don't have the topo map with me today because I didn't really plan on coming up here. But when I looked at the topo map, it looked like the way the land laid, there were probably at least one or more springs on the property. Just judging by the topography and looking at the lines on the topo map. So I don't think we'll go try to track those down today, but I will see if I can walk a little bit and have a look at this. There's a trail which keeps going, and since I really haven't explored it, and I've got another meeting today, I don't want to get into where I might get hung up on a log, so I'll just park right there. I'll go on foot for a little bit. Here's another spot that could be spectacular for a building site. We're out of sight of the road. It's gentle, but it's got a gentle lay to it, but it's got a little bit of a slope to kind of make it interesting. Enough area for a yard, and there's still some decent timber left in this particular area. Oh, and we're about to get a really cool lake view. I might have to get excited here in a minute. Oh, look at that. Wow. So I love trees, and I don't like to cut trees, but if it opens up a view like that, there are about maybe 8 to 10 mid-sized trees right there that if they were to come out, that view would be breathtaking. And some people, it doesn't bother them to have a few trees in the way, and more power to them. But if this were my personal playground, I'd probably bring a little chainsaw. And drop those few small trees, and then I'd just have my house or my cabin right here. It's gorgeous. That's a pretty good lake view. And we're seeing quite a bit of the property too. I don't know how far that trail goes where we parked, but if memory serves, when I looked at the topo map, there's a good ridge that runs through the property. So that trail probably follows that ridge. Most of these old roads and trails follow a ridge top if they can. Makes for a much better road. Well, that was a great surprise to have that kind of lake view on this property. So this is a big one. We don't often get properties this large. And we certainly don't often get properties this close to Lake of the Ozarks of this size. You'll see a lot of guys and real estate agencies advertising these little quarter-acre lots a few miles from the lake. And here's a huge property with that awesome lake view. Right here up at the Lake of the Ozarks. So come on down and check it out. Feel free to bring your four-wheeler or your side-by-side. Four-wheelers are a little narrower, so sometimes they're better on properties until you've got some trails cut in. Loving that lake view. So cool. Wow, only 12 minutes. That felt like 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. Well, I'll end the video here, but that gives us all a taste of this property. Like I said, I hadn't seen it in the winter time. I saw it after it was logged, but I saw it in the summer. And if you come back here in about a month, all you'll see is lush greenery. Totally different property. And then once the leaves are off the trees, you get this wintertime look on a recently logged property. It'll look like that for a few years until everything starts to kind of grow back in, fill back in. That's the large acreage. Oh, I was about to end it. But I'm looking down this trail and it does continue along this ridge. Goes up and then hooks off to the right. And I don't know how far it goes, so feel free to explore that. Okay. There we have it. The huge property on Cliff House Drive with the lake view at the Lake of the Ozarks.